Variations on Amazon. How in the world do you advertise them with so many different variations, colors, weights, flavors, and the list goes on? In this video, I'm going to give you a very good base structure on how you can segment your campaigns for variations that I have found worked very well. I'm Dylan from AMC Joy. Let's jump into the video. Okay, starting off, what's a variation? A variation is pretty much what you see here. So for this example, I've gone on Amazon and just looked up a dog leash. So you can see here, there is a ton of different variations. This is a dog leash. You can see that has different sizes and then different colors. So already you can see there is a ton of SKUs under this listing. How in the world do you go about advertising for this? Well, I'm going to break it down in a very simple and easy to understand way that will probably make a lot of sense by the end of the video. Okay, starting off. Now, depending on whether or not the variation is established or it's a new product launch, what you'll find is that the top seller is the one that shows for the most competitive, broad keywords. So in the example for dog leash, a broad keyword or a very competitive keyword that isn't very relevant is relevant, but not to the color or anything like that, is a keyword like dog leash. So you'll find that, for example, if the black leash is the best seller, and when a customer goes to Amazon and types in dog leash, it's the black variation that is going to show up for that search query, dog leash. Once that's established, it's very hard to change it in the future. So starting off, just know that your top seller is the one that's going to show for those type of keywords. Now, what if you're just launching? Which product are you going to select to be advertised for these common or very competitive keywords? Well, let's break it down. Now, before you look at this slide, if you know what variation is going to sell the best, just based on maybe you've been in the industry for years and you just have a very good understanding, then choose that product. But for the rest of you, a very good way to start is choosing the lowest priced variation for the entire variation. So if it's starting at $15.99 and then the lowest priced one is $12.99, we'll go with that. But if you know the industry well, you know your product well, and you know the black leash is going to sell the best, then select that. This is just kind of give you a way to start. Now, why would I pick the lowest price is because on Amazon, it's targeted, not always, but a lot of people are cheap on Amazon and they're going to like that cheaper product. So the click-through rate and things like that are going to improve when the price is lower. Okay. So that is why we would select broad keywords for that product. Once again, broad keywords are those that are not very relevant to the product itself. So for example, green leash is very relevant to that product, but the broad keyword would be like these examples below: dog leash, pet leash, leash for walking. Okay. So we've established that. One, you're going to pick your top seller to have the most competitive broad keywords. Two, if you haven't launched yet, one way you can start is by using those broad keywords on either the lowest price product in the variation or the one that you know is going to sell the best. Okay. So after that, how do we go from here? Okay, so once you've established that top seller or the top ASIN for that variation, you then do not want to cannibalize those broad keywords for the rest of the products. So for example, if the black leash is the top seller, this is the variation you're going to target keywords such as dog leash, walking leash, pet leash. Okay, very highly competitive keywords that are more broad and competitive. Okay. You do not then want to take these keywords and advertise them on the other colors. You're only focusing on either the top seller or the lowest priced variation, and that's it for these keywords, okay? So dog leash, for example, is only going to be advertised on the black leash, which is the top seller. Red leash, nope, it's not going to have dog leash. Blue leash, it's not going to have dog leash. They're going to be targeting more specific keywords, which we'll get into the slides following this, like red dog leash, blue dog leash, where they have more of a search intent. Okay. So broad main competitive keywords, keep them only for the top seller or the lowest price product of the variation. This will be a completely separate campaign. Okay, moving along. After we create the campaign for the broad competitive keywords, what do we do from here? Well, then we're going to segment campaigns based on search intent, specific hyper-relevant search intent. Okay, so for each color, we're going to create a different campaign. And what are these keywords? What are these campaigns going to target? Which keywords? Well, we're going to break it out on search intent for the keyword research that you have done. So for example, the blue leash campaign will have keywords like blue dog leash, navy blue pet leash, blue walking lead, very relevant to the variation or the ASIN that's been sold. Then the next campaign for the red leash, same thing, red dog leash, crimson pet leash, red walking lead, relevant to the color. If you're selling flavors, strawberry milkshake, okay, that will target those type of keywords. If it's passion fruit, okay, we're going to break out each ASIN into its own campaign, targeting hyper relevant search intent keywords specific to that variation. Just one more example, I'm sure you get the point, but green leash campaign, green dog leash, emerald pet leash. And if you're confused, don't worry, at the end of this video, I'm going to show a slide that shows how these campaigns are actually created and structured. Next, what else can we do? So you saw in my initial slide that this one the dog leash had multiple colors, but then for each color, it had multiple sizes. Okay, so we don't need to get that granular where we split out sizes and color and we have a million campaigns going. What you can do is you can create groupings. So for all the red leashes, doesn't matter what size, we're going to combine them all into one campaign. So you can see here that we have the short red leash, medium red leash, long, extra large, you get the point. So inefficient would be creating 4 separate campaigns for each leash. Now, what do they all have in common? They're all red. So we can group these together. They're going to share those hyper relevant keywords. So the efficient way to do this is to create one campaign, have all these ASINs in that one campaign. It's still one campaign, one ad group, targeting those hyper relevant keywords such as red dog leash. Now, you've probably seen my other videos before, but the same rules apply where try to use a maximum of 5 keywords per campaign. And you can just create another campaign, combine all the red dog leashes together and target those keywords. Now this goes for every other variation, the blue, orange, group them all together by color. And this can work for a bunch of categories too, such as clothing. So all the red t-shirts together, etc., right? The supplements, like if you have passion fruit and then they've all got different sizes, you can group all the passion fruit flavors together and then advertise for keywords such as passion fruit, whatever. Okay, next slide. So this is going to break it down and give you a visual to better understand how these campaigns will be created. So for example, for the dog leash, you can see campaign 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what I've started with, campaign 1, this is the broad keywords for the top seller or the cheapest price product within the variation. So campaign 1, it's got one ad group, one ASIN, which is the black leash, and it's targeting those broad keywords: dog leash, pet leash, walking lead, dog lead. They're not hyper relevant. They don't have the word black for the color of that leash. These are the highly competitive keywords that you're going to go attempt to rank for aggressively, and you want to use your top seller and your best converting keyword because more sales for that keyword gives you a higher organic ranking. Okay, and then just to make it clear, you still then want to be specific for the black leash. So you're going to create a second campaign, also 2, 3, 4, 5, which are very hyper relevant search intent keywords for that specific variation. For example, the black leash, very specific. Still one ad group, one ASIN. You can still group all the black ASINs together if that's what your product is laid out like. But you can see the specific keywords are like black dog leash, black pet lead, black walking leash, Noya. I probably butchered that, dog leash. But they're super relevant to that colored variation. This would go the same for a supplement. Say it was the passion fruit flavor. It will then be passion fruit, creatine. You get the point, okay? And then campaign 3, this is for the blue leash. Separate campaign, blue leash. Blue dog leash, blue pet league, navy dog leash, etc, etc. Still try to keep it to a maximum of 5 keywords per campaign. If you reach that number, just create another campaign for blue leash and keep going. And then campaign 5, I've given you an example of what it looks like where you have, let's say, a red leash with multiple sizes, and you're going to group them together in one campaign. So campaign 5, multi-red leash group, you have all the ASINs under the ad group, all the red ones, different sizes, targeting those specific red keywords. Red dog leash, red pet lead, red walking lead, ruby dog leash. And hopefully this gives you a much better idea of how to structure your campaigns for variations. Hopefully it made it very clear that you're segmenting each ASIN out based on search intent, which is relevant to that ASIN. And then you're taking out your top seller that is targeting the more competitive keywords. I hope this helped. If you have any questions, please leave a comment below. I'm Dylan Heathcote from AMZ Joy. Thank you for watching.